Hello there guys, what you're looking at is a storage system for the 6mm troops. This is, I suppose it's something like a cheapo version of the Plano boxes that you can get in the USA. This was just under a fiver from in the UK, a big chain of stores called Wilkinson's or Wilco's. Just under a fiver, and each one. I've got two. I've got the I keep saying conservative. The Confederate Army, the rebels, in this box. There's 11. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit. There's 11 infantry regiments in these front compartments, and then further back there's the generals. Let's see all the up so you can see it. There's the artillery and the cavalry, and each one fits in nicely. These the ones going across, they're fixed, and they're just about the right size for the 30mm width or depth of the bases, and perfect. So I mean, there's 11 infantry regiments there. That equates to 386 troops on the 11 stands, plus the cavalry, generals, artillery. You're looking at close to 500 troops in one of these boxes. So I think it's an ideal storage system. I'm definitely going to get a couple more because, I mean, I'm going to eventually end up filling one of these boxes just with infantry. But it's a really good storage system and very cheap too. So there's one there for the Confederates, and of course same again for the Union. And they all fit in. It'll keep them safe. They're not going to rattle around with sliding in some of these compartment things here, these dividers. So I'm quite pleased with them. For under a tenner, I've got myself a decent, safe storage system. Literally an army in a box. Right, so I finished in the boxes. Each force has got 3 more infantry regiments, which I completed yesterday. And after I completed them, it was a rubbish day. It was raining and miserable. I thought, I know what I'll do. To get me in the mood for the Civil War, I'll have a game of Battlecry. And then I found I had a few thoughts while I was doing that, so I'll come back to you with that. I'd set up the Battlecry game. It's a board game by Richard Borg, and I was going to fight the first battle of Bull Run, 1861. And this is the setup in the book, where you've got a single figure. You actually put 4 figures for infantry. For cavalry, where there's 1 figure, you put 3. Then you have a general. You've got artillery. And you have, here there's a ridge, simulated by some tiles that you put onto the actual board to show that that's a ridge. There's some clump of trees here, that's a forest there, and there's the Henry House, which was a farm, basically, and then the Union are lined up over there. So when you translate that to the board, it looks like this, and it's quite impressive. The Confederates are actually painted up, so you can see there's 1 unit of infantry with 4 figures, the flag bearer, and so we move across. There's the artillery with its crew, and so on, and all placed where they should be placed as according to the book for the scenario. And I'm afraid most of the Union infantry are painted up, but you get an idea. And when I was doing this, I was thinking, well, how could you make it more pleasing? Well, the Henry House over there, so while there's nobody actually in that square, you could replace it by a building. It fits in there just about nicely. So you could put that, obviously if the troops move into there, I'd have to replace this tile. And I was thinking about this ridge line. Now, you could cut hexes out of MDF or something just to raise it up slightly. Well, fortunately enough, I've got another Richard board game called Samurai Battles, which give you some plastic hexes with the scenery, these tiles actually go on top. So I'll put some of them on. The other thing, of course, was watching a video by Pancake last night, and he was reviewing foreground trees by the company Foreground, and they come in threes, but they're each one's on an individual circular base. Now, you could have one of those trees stuck there, replacing that tile. Obviously, the trees I made for the War Games table are way too big a footprint. But if you just had one tree on a little circular base to fit into that hex, again you've got 3D, you've got a tree, you've got a building, and when I come back I'll show you the reversed ridge line. So bear with me a moment. Right, these are the hills that come with the game Samurai Battles. As you can see, they're on a plastic base there. You can stack more bases to create more height. So you could have a rising, one here, two here, three here, so as if you were building a peak. So again, you've got a bit more 3D. The only problem is that these are slightly bigger. These are slightly bigger than the hexes on this table. So I thought, well, okay, I don't have to use this board. I could use the boards that come with Samurai Battles. And of course the hexes fit perfectly on there. Just make the board the same or similar size and transfer the troops. I've actually got more space. And that's when I thought, well, now I've got more space, my bases for my 6mm troops, they'd almost fit perfectly in one of them hexes. So I thought, well, not only could I use terrain, make it a bit more 3D, I could also use the 6mm troops instead of these what I provided with the board game. So I'll show you what I came up with. Bear with me again. Now this is the board setup using the Samurai Battles game board and their terrain pieces. You can see I've lined up the Confederates as they are lined up on the scenario booklet. And same across there with the Union. And if I zoom in, I've got cavalry on the wing, infantry and artillery, the Henry House there. Infantry stretched along, there's a reserve infantry regiment and General Hunter, I believe it is, at the back there. More units there for the Confederates. They've got 2 infantry units, I might control the camera. 2 infantry units here, artillery, there's the ridge line now. More infantry units with Jackson as the commander. Over there, more infantry units set up as per But an infantry unit and 2 regiments of cavalry with Jeb Stewart there as their commander. The table's not quite the same size as a Battlecry. It's just slightly longer that way and 1 hex less widthways, but I can live with that. And I think that looks, turning a board game into a hybrid miniatures game is going to be simple to operate. And you're thinking, well, in the ordinary game, when a unit, oops, too far, when a unit, an infantry unit normally has 4 figures. Well, obviously each one of these has got 36 figures and I can't take figures off. But what I can do is put a dice behind it, showing whatever number I want. I mean, if this was a veteran regiment, I could have a 6 showing, and then as it loses a casualty, turn that down to 5. If it was a regular unit, maybe start at 5 and work your way down. For a rookie, a green regiment, start at 4. So you just use the dice, and when a unit's defeated, where you normally stand it on the side of your board with the flag, because the last person off was the flag carrier, just put one of the tokens that they provide. So if the Union regiment is totally wiped out, then the Confederate gets this on his turn tracker, and when he gets 6 or 7, whatever the scenario calls for, well, the battle's over. But I think that will look pretty good. A bit of a hybrid of a box game, and it's simple to play. It's very easy to do solo. I know it's card driven and not a lot of people like that, but I can live with that. It gives you a bit of, sometimes you've got loads of forces on the right wing and you don't have no cards to order anything on the right wing, but you know, this is a god's eye view. Jackson down here, he can't see what's going on the other side of the line, so maybe that order doesn't get through, or it doesn't get passed, or the messenger's killed, and that's why nothing moves at that side. So I shall do a couple of games and see how it goes. So I thought I'd show you this and the storage box and see what you think. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.